Hi, greetings and welcome fellow YouTubers out there. This week not much has happened, but at the same time an awful lot has happened. So we're getting the best of both sides there. This week we are having a little look into surviving Mars. I had a ride on the back of a dragon in Skyrim. We talk about my tribute to Mr. Pickles. Also, there's some adverts that we sent out for the Sci-Fi London Film Festival coming up. Several VR games that are coming out soon, such as Killing Floor, Table of Tales and Torn, that what we'll all be looking at, all on this week's weekly updates. Okay, right, let's get on with it. First up, as I said, I do want to apologise. I didn't really do much this week in the way of Let's Play. I would like to say that I was really sort of getting to grips with doing my video editing or working on the computer animations. But the absolute honest truth, the real truth was I kind of got addicted to playing Surviving Mars. Well, yeah, I mean, I've got to allow, sometimes I do really just enjoy playing video games, and I just wanted to give myself a little bit of time this week just to get to grips with that. And my God, Surviving Mars, that really is an addictive game, despite the flaws, despite the numerous flaws, and it does have quite a lot of flaws in there. I mean, we had because of the way that I play of using the inventor perk, I have autonomous drones. I set stations all over the planet, therefore I cover the entire planet in like a network of drone hubs. And yeah, I think I kind of crashed the game whilst playing that. So I've found what I considered the perfect spot for in Surviving Mars. The perfect spot being just outside of the Elysium landmarks. There's a couple of spots around there where you've got full levels on everything, like water, cement and metals, whilst the only hazards around there is just level 2 on meteors. And if you get yourself up fast enough, the meteors aren't really that much of a threat, especially on level 2. I mean, it was much higher, I could have had a problem, but anything that normally gets hit or destroyed gets repaired easily. And also the meteors leave, sometimes there's a chance that meteors leave other anomalies which can increase your research. So I've been pretty much playing that all week and thoroughly enjoying it. But as I said, I did run into a couple of game-breaking bugs there. One of which where I was trying to work out of, because I discovered that the domes housing the children don't really work, nor do all the senior staff, senior citizens. So I made a dome completely for children, and so I filtered out all the adults, just children and children only, and made loads of schools, and I call it my the teaching zone, the teaching dome. And because I was having because I had over 1,500 colonists, the dome got filled up very quickly by everyone else. I mean, I had at one point I had just over 1,000 teenagers and adults, and all the kids kept becoming adults, and I was wondering, where are all these people coming from? I specifically filtered it out so that there are no adults in there, just the kids, but it seemed to be the place where all the adults wanted to go, and everyone was suffocating. So I don't know if that was like a bug or not, or the fact that because there was too many people in that one dome that everyone started suffocating, but it became literally uninhabitable. So I ended up disabling the dome and killing 1,500 children as well as other people. Yeah, I'm not a monster, honestly, I'm not. but yeah, it's kind of fun. Now I reloaded up a previous save and just built like 50 more other domes around to try and just try and see if I can level it out. But unfortunately, I think the population growth has just spurted so much that it's become unmanageable. So now I'm just like flying through the research points to try and see if I can see if there's any trophies on there to get everything else on there. But we'll see how that goes. Anyway, sorry, that's enough of me prattling on about me playing games. We want to go into other stuff that I've been doing. Right, as I said, this week has been pretty much a relaxing week. There wasn't much going on PSVR. We didn't get many new releases, and any of the old releases that I haven't done yet are really low on the scale, and despite the fact that we're still trying to wait for our next paycheck to come through, so we didn't really get much in the way of releases. However, I was trying to do the making money in Skyrim portfolio yesterday, but I got sidetracked. I got a little bit sidetracked by riding a freaking dragon, and I thought that was kind of awesome. I went into the Skyrim realm all ready to record and such, and I thought, hold on a sec, I heard somewhere on the grapevine that in Skyrim you can ride a dragon now. And I'm not talking about just that part of the quest line where you get on the dragon and it teleports you to the mountain ranges where you can get through to before. I mean, sitting on the back and riding a freaking dragon. Awesome. So I just had to get into that. I started live streaming it on the Twitch channel. And the way you manage to do this is with the Dragonborn DLC quest, you first call your dragon in, and whilst it's circling around you might have to wait an hour, because that's how I got my my shout to reset. I have to wait an hour to get it reset. So whilst the dragon was circling around, I used a shout that I earned in the Dragon Ball DLC called Bend Will, and this Bend Will, if you manage to time it just right so that you hit the dragon in flight, like a little rhyme there, he will then come down and land next to you, saying, "How may I serve you, my lord?" Awesome, awesome. And at that point you're allowed to get onto his back, and then he basically takes off and flies around in circles. Quite literally just flies around in circles. I thought this was really kind of awesome. It allows you to do a few, I think I've said that a couple of times, 2 or 3 times a second, but he allows you to do a few things. It is very limited, the mechanics of flying the dragon. You can't actually take control of him and tell him where to go. You can, however, say, right, you need to attack that target. And that's really it. You do get the option to select a target, but I couldn't see how I couldn't actually see how it knows which target I wanted to select. I think at one point I accidentally killed my horse. No, Pinky, no. So I had to reload after that. I can't have it with him killing my horse. Couldn't have it like that. So anyway, after reloading and start broadcasting, I found out, or I worked out, that I could travel with the dragon whilst flying on the back of the dragon. So you open up the map, so whilst you're airborne, you open up the map and fast travel to any point you like. So what I did was I went to a dragon's reach where or a dragon outcrop, where there was a waiting dragon to attack. And we had one of the most awesome sky battles ever. I mean, you can probably see it down here. I'm going to try and see if I can paste it down there at the moment. But it was wonderful, just like flying around in circles, and it was a full-blown proper air-to-air dragon fight, which was kind of cool. But like I said, I have a few gripes about the mechanics on Skyrim though. The fact is, you couldn't actually control what your dragon does. You can't really control them. You can't say turn bank left, bank right. And I think the game is designed in that such a way because it will be too much for the console to handle, considering going over the landscape so fast that it wouldn't render properly. So I need to readjust myself. Sorry. So firstly, as I said, you can't control what your dragon does. He just flies around in circles or initiates attack sequences when you want to attack a target. The second thing I didn't quite like is I couldn't really do much myself. There were one or two spells, or should I say shouts, that you could do, such as like the fireball shout. But any other spells, swords, bow and arrow, I really couldn't work out how to do them. I think there is supposed to be a way, but it just wasn't working on me. When I brought up my spell list, pretty much most of them were blanked out, so you couldn't actually use them on there. There were some that were supposed to allow you to use, such as fireball and heal, but when I brought them up, they practically did nothing. I couldn't actually use them unless there were other particular button presses that I was supposed to press, which I totally miss. And yeah, so and another little thing I noticed was two other things. One thing that I noticed was if I did actually see my hands, they were off in the distance. They weren't in front of me. I think they were supposed to be tied to a certain point on the dragon's neck. No matter if you recentered yourself, your arms were always floating in those same positions. But the third or fourth, I've lost count. The other problem that I had was that it wasn't your view wasn't locked forward. It was constantly staying as if relative to your own body. I mean, what I mean is, if it was locked to the dragon, when the dragon would turn, you would turn with it, but you didn't do this. So let's say if the dragon automatically turned in flight by 180 degrees, you find yourself automatically looking at the tail end of the dragon, which wasn't that pleasant, and it was quite annoying to have to constantly be looking around and turning the joystick just to be able to stay facing forward to the front of the dragon. I would have much preferred it if it was locked to forward facing position, despite the fact that we are constantly circling round and round. With all that being said, with all the problems and bugs with the Dragonflight system, I was flying a frickin' dragon in VR. A frickin' dragon. I haven't seen that yet, and it was awesome. Okay, there is going to be a game coming out soon that is basically flying on the back of a dragon, but it looked kind of bland. It didn't look really good. But this in Skyrim, it was awesome. The graphics. I actually saw the neck stretching out from underneath me, and I was flying a frickin' dragon. Got to have more of those in VR games. That would certainly be a selling point. In case I didn't make it clear, I was flying a frickin' dragon. A frickin' dragon. And it wasn't just one dragon. It looked like I can choose any dragon that I wanted, as long as it wasn't pre-scripted. I mean, I tried to take on Parthenax, but it wouldn't budge. But any of the unscripted ones or random encounter ones, go ahead. I mean, I captured a blood dragon in my little playthrough. So I did have little fun with that, going from like town to town, flying around in circles, looking down and saying, "Hey, you wish you were an adventurer like me. I'm flying on the frickin' dragon, and you take an arrow to the knee from this angle. I swear you will not ever believe that you're an adventurer like me on the back of a frickin' dragon. So I just like saying that. Frickin' dragon. But yeah, on to next. Yeah. As I said, this week, as I said, wasn't really much. I didn't really do much in the way of Let's Plays or anything else, really. It was kind of a more relaxing week. But saying that, on the same moment, over the past couple of days, I have been working on improving some of my video editing. My video editing on Adobe Premiere. Just learning a few new skills. Well, I wouldn't actually say it new skills, just more of playing around, really. And I'm a big fan of the Mr. Pickles animated series. In fact, whenever we was playing Werewolf Within and we was all bowing our heads for the saint, I would always say, "Oh, how Mr. Pickles!" Awesome dog. In case you don't know about it, he's like this demonic dog that has got lots of blood and gore and all sorts of stuff in there. Just an amazing cartoon series. Definitely not for the faint of heart, and definitely not for children. So therefore, I bet half the people on here to see this will be under 15 and go, right, let's go and watch it. But be careful, it has got violence, it's got sexual, it's got violent sex. It is really quite gruesome sometimes, but I think that's what makes it awesome. And on the season 3, yes, season 3 has been released quite recently. Recently is a subjective term, but I didn't know that it had been released until quite recently, so therefore for me it's been released recently. So I've watched all the way through season 3, and the season 3 finale song in the bar is a great song. It really tugs at the heartstrings. It is nice, relaxing, total study in contrast, total different in contrast to the actual storyline itself, where the storyline is mainly hard hitting. This is soft and gentle and really goes in for the moment, the song. But for that scene, you don't really get to hear most of it. So I searched on the internet and I found the artist who created the song and put it on for the final episode of Mr. Pickles. And yeah, what I've done is a tribute to Mr. Pickles with that song, the full entirety of the song, the scenes, clips, just rearranged to make its own little storyline. I've sent a message to the song creator, let him know that I was creating this. I haven't got a reply from him yet, but then again, he was probably wouldn't. But hopefully they'll enjoy it as much as I really did enjoy creating it. And I mean, I spent pretty much most of one night and a morning overnight, because I didn't realise that it was about 2-3 o'clock in the morning when I finished creating it and just uploaded it. And then YouTube said that, sorry, this was banned in pretty much most of the world. So I had to go and recreate it again from scratch, so that it was acceptable in all the countries. To the pain, but hey ho. We do this because we love doing these sort of things. Well, other thing what I actually did do, now I do apologise about this if you guys are getting annoyed with all the adverts I've been pasting up recently on my channel. I mean, over the next week we've got Sci-Fi London coming in, so I did an advert for Sci-Fi London. Plus, because I couldn't really do any Let's Plays of anything that's out there at the moment, I decided to put in some trailers for things that are coming out soon. Well, I don't know how soon is actual soon, but trailers for upcoming PSVR. So I looked around to see what is out there, and there is literally pages upon pages of computer games, PSVR future release games. So I downloaded approximately about 20 or 30 different adverts. Some of them I cut off because even though it said that it was PSVR games in the title, when I actually watched the trailers, they didn't have the PSVR or PlayStation 4 logo on it. They had something like Steam, Oculus 5 or other such things, which told me that it's a VR game, but doesn't necessarily mean that it's a PSVR game. However, these three, which was Killing Floor, Table of Tales and Torn, seem to be the best ones that I saw out there at the moment. First up, we'll have a little look at Killing Floor. Now, with these three games, each one of these three games are unique in their own areas. Oh, sorry, let me readjust again. Not the camera. One of them is a very much a action shooter based focus. Another one's an RPG based focus, and a third one is story driven walking simulator type focus. Now, that said, the first one on the list, Killing Floor, is very much the action driven game. It sort of reminds me a little bit like I don't know why I keep pointing out Job Simulator, but with actual decent graphics and guns and lots of action and storyline, and actually nothing like Job Simulator at all. It actually seems quite a decent game that it could be. Not to say that Job Simulator isn't a decent game. Job Simulator is a great game, but it's not a game. It's a experience rather than a game. But hopefully, Killing Floor. Sorry, I'm keep having to refer to my notes because I keep forgetting names and such. Killing Floor does look like it's going to be a really good action-packed game when it comes out, and I will definitely be looking forward to it. The second one up, Table of Tales, the Crooked Crown, is the RPG element in these three, where, as it said, it's its own unique sort of style, where it's a tabletop type of game, and the trailer makes me think that it allows you to create a sort of Minecraft style world. Okay, not Minecraft where it's all blocky, but more or less you can build your own world. I don't know if that's the case or these are just preset worlds, but it throws you into a sort of isometric style playing RPG role-playing game. The word simulator is right on the tip of my tongue, but it doesn't look like it's anything to do with a simulator. It does actually look quite awesome though. I must admit I am a little bit concerned about this game because I never really I used to like the isometric style where you're looking at one point and you push characters around the dungeon. I used to like this way back in the 1980s, but since then I've kind of hit puberty and outgrown it. But there's always something that can be something that's absolutely amazing and can be a decent experience. So I put this down on a watch list because I want to see how this grows. I might actually enjoy it. It looks like it could be the style that I would enjoy. Third up is Torn. Now this is the walking simulator. Well, I say it looks like a walking simulator, but from the what I've seen in the trailer, where you have to use this sonic screwdriver type of element to interact with the environment around you, I'm kind of concerned that it's not going to be a walking simulator, but more of a teleporting simulator. So you have to teleport to points and then just work out the puzzles as it goes along. But still, there are some, if it is a good simulator, there are some decent facts about walking simulators is they do storylines very well. This particular one reminds me of very much of Everyone's Gone to the Rapture, where in that game you're basically walking around, you see these little orbs of light, and as you go into the orbs of light, some more of the story exposes itself to you. So you go around hunting for these orbs of light, or even chasing them sometimes if that's the case down the field. And when I was watching that, or playing, shall I say, playing that, I believe that these sort of style walking simulators really need to be done in VR. They would be absolutely awesome if they were recreated in VR, and it looks like they've just done that with Torn. I think that is going to be. I think that is going to be a really decent storyline, another one to be looking out for. So, those are the 3 trailers that I posted this week. Hopefully, I didn't annoy you too much by spamming your emails with these trailers, or my Mr. Pickles tribute song. Hopefully, you've enjoyed these trailers. But let's see, coming up now. It's Sci-Fi London. Hang on a sec, let me just have a... Okay. Let me just finish it off. Just close that down there. We are doing Sci-Fi London this week, and we've kind of been building up to this for a long time. With Sci-Fi London, what Sci-Fi London is basically a collation of films and other fantastic stuff. We normally do a lot of stuff over here on Sci-Fi London, where it could be just showing films that people have made, the London 48-hour film challenge, or the Writers' Challenge, which also gets a lot of publicity as well. We've got like a dog show that's coming up, as well as my personal favourite, which I tend to take a very keen interest in, is the Hatstock event, which basically shows all the latest VR gizmos, gadgets and things that people want to show off. I mean, at the last VR show, we had people that was cybering in on, let me see, what are they called, those little wheelie things, and showing like on an iPad. But yeah, as I said, this week I am going to be really busy working on that, so I might not have much time working on this challenge, but I promise that I'll do as much as I can to get a lot of film footage as I can, although most of it's going to be inside cinema screens and I won't be able to take video footage of that. What I am going to do going forward is I'm going to have to say this kind of carefully, because I'm trying to work out a deal with the manager at the moment. With all the films that have come through to us, we have a certain right and license agreement to broadcast or use these films as we see fit. So I am getting permission, or I should have already gotten permission, to host some of these videos on my YouTube channel. So what I'll do is I'll put all credits due to the people that's created them, because like I said, they've created these wondrous films that no one ever gets to see. But that's what we do at Sci-Fi London. We put them out there so that people can see them. We put them out there so that on cinemas, so people can see them in the big view screen up there on the big screen. There are sites on the internet where you can now download these films for free, such as going to be my YouTube channel or other places like Vio, I think is the main site that we use. But as I said, we give a forum for these people so that they can actually showcase and broadcast the stuff to a large paying audience. So what I am going to do, I'm thinking of changing around my channel. If I can wrangle this, I might change the channel around a little bit so that I would have, say, a Saturday night feature. So every night it's going to be movie night, Saturday movie night, where I start playing one film after another, and we've got hundreds of films. I mean, I'm kind of looking forward to doing the Captain Space Detective one, which I thought was kind of awesome, and its own unique style of graphics. But as I said, I need to work out a few things with the manager before I can actually fully push this one through onto my channel. But if it does work, look out for a Saturday night movie night coming on this channel with movies you would have never seen anywhere else before. Not on the cinemas, or maybe on the other parts of YouTube. Okay, or via a website that we download, where you can download these for free. But I'm hoping that we can try and sort something out, and I think that will be a good way going forwards. So what I'll do is, at the end of my Sunday night weekly updates, I'll end it off with like a trailer for the next movie that's coming out on Saturday, and I'll do Saturday night on Saturday. Yeah, cool. Sorry, just got caught up in mid-steam there. Well, what I was going to do is I'll put one of the trailers on that's coming up next week at the Sci-Fi London Movie Festival. I've already done the trailer for the actual event. I did that earlier on in the week. I'll put another link down in the description if you want to see that. But I'll finish this up with a trailer for one of the movies. I'll have to see which one that comes up on the turntable. So I hope you've enjoyed it. But for the moment, thanks very much for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. We're going to be doing so much stuff coming through. Whether it be trailers for upcoming VR games, it's going to be Let's Plays for actual VR games coming out, or tribute songs to Mr. Pickles. We do a lot of stuff on here. So please don't forget, like and subscribe. If you like watching what you see, please give me a thumbs up. Thanks very much for watching. I'll see you guys out there.
Hardin Jones. You all know him. Prisoner 4110787. Star of Panopticon TV. Made over 12 billion yuan just from sales of jeans, t-shirts, sunglasses, condoms. A financial and ratings success. What if Prison TV could be expanded to a whole new town where felons live, work, and earn their way back into society?
Thanks.
Hardin Jones will be the first felon to test it. You're going to be transferred, Hardin. I need him back.
Or from fame and money, lack of meaning, that usually does the trick.
I'm not thinking of opening this up to subscribers.
Crime's down. Consumerism's up. What's not to like?
How do you think he's gonna feel when he finds out what you've done to him?
He killed someone.
Someone who attacked his brother.
Did he get the death penalty? No. He got famous.
What if he gets online and starts instructing the faithful?
His brain's mush. He's had more drugs pumped into him than Central America.
We want an end to mandatory fingerprinting, prison TV. Should you fail to comply,
We will empty 2 international banks of all currency and redistribute the money.
Kidnap, vandalism, robbery. Every kid on any building, anyone with a mask, a spray can, or a tool belt under the age of 30, I want them rounded up and I want them databased.
Our demands are fair, yet still you fail. There are no second chances.
I made you a star. Isn't that what everyone wants?
Green had this to say.
What the state, along with the SCA, has enforced will ensure a safer tomorrow for this country. Please continue to support the State Enforcement Agency and know that your votes matter.
This company is the devil. You cannot win a battle against hell on your own.
Tell me where to find my sister.
The immortal jellyfish.
Like your jellyfish, you will regenerate us.
I need fetal stem cells from real human embryos.
You're losing touch with reality, Quint.
What are you doing?
They will be superhuman, immortal chimeras.
Miles and Flora will be cured!
I know what you're doing.
I can replace their organs.
You're going to make me very rich.
Promises, promises, promises.
Don't experiment on your own kids.
What happened to your little family project? Did you hit a dead end?
I know how the disease works.
They're all clones.
Does he have my mutation?
They're all alive?
What good would they be otherwise? How would you extract oocytes? How would you make embryos? How would you get stem cells?
This is just a jigsaw puzzle. You need to make the pieces fit.
Mommy. Mommy.
Patient! My children are dying!
I need to freeze time.
Swirling all around you, in every direction. All I see is death.
Clean this mess up.
You promised me immortality.
Breathe.
God intended us to be immortal, we would have more durable bodies.
God intended us to be mortal.
Stop!
We would have less curious minds.